10th August, 1829. For that the Atlantic did, it stretched out its 1,000 feelers more and more roughly, twirling it about like anything. The ship household kept its breakfast almost for itself, few people on board being able to manage their cups and saucers. Ladies as a rule fell down like flies, and one or the other gentlemen followed their example. I only wish my fellow sufferer had not been among them, but he is on better terms with the sea as a musician than an individual or a stomach. Klingemann was sitting at the mess of the scene, in which was the deck of the ferry, writing of such experience. Felix sat violently ill of the raging sea. Having thrown up every bit of food he'd eaten, it rendered him to pointlessly gagging. Karl was not the sort to be bothered by water, but even this ride was unsettling. He still managed to keep his breakfast down. 2 daughters and a mother sat on the deck as well. The mother was not suited for the sea, and the arrogant girls could have cared less. They sat quietly in annoyance at the cold air and disgusted by the sickened passengers. At the same time, a man entertained himself and a few others by playing a tambourine whilst whistling the familiar Huntsman chorus from Weber's opera. Next to Karl, an old woman sat, nudging and irritating him. She wanted to be sure to see the island of Staffa, and pushed Karl to be sure to get a clear view of it. Karl was rather trapped between the nagging old lady, taking her bothersome shoves, and Felix, who consistently leaned on him during fits of fainting out of illness. Thankfully, they neared Staffa. There was by no means of the ferry to dock, so it anchored a ways out. The passengers wanting to visit the island boarded some smaller boats to reach the basalt pillars of land. Every moment of this trip for Felix was a torture, as the boat floated with a swelling body of water. Once they got onto some land, which was the stumps of the pillar rocks, they ventured towards Fingal's cave. In Karl's eyes, the shapely walls of the cavern looked like endless pipes of an immense organ, black and resounding, and absolutely without purpose, and quite alone with the wide grey sea, within and without. As the seawater crashed against the rocks, the old woman who had been a bother to Karl pushed her way through the group to see the cave of Staffa. She wanted to see it, as her age was advanced, numbering her experiences of extraordinary sights. Felix gazed upon the swelling abyss of waves. He began to hear the crescendo of the winds and the strings from the piece he noted the night before. The movement of the waves consumed his daze, as he unconsciously leaned closer to look down. Something had struck his curiosity about the deepness. He stepped onto one of the pillar rocks at the edge. Yet his tolerance for turbulent seas got the best of him. Karl noticed his dizzy state and pulled him away from standing too close to it. Felix snapped out of his doze, feeling a rush of adrenaline. Karl suggested to his friend, "Why don't you sketch the cave? It might lift your spirits." "I'm not much in the mood to sketch that ill-fated water," Felix groaned.